August 29. 30 B.C. Conquest of Alexandria by Augustus. Exactly 3 lustra or 15 years preceding the great victory of Drusus over the Tians and Vindelici, which concluded the Barbaric War. 30. St. John the Baptist beheaded. The decollation of the Baptist determines the birthday of Herod, tetrarch of Galilee, called Antipas, who for his ambition was banished by Caligula to Spain or Lyons, with Herodias, in the year 38. 410. Alaric evacuated Rome and ravaged the provinces of Italy. 284. Era of Diocletian or the martyrs, commenced, still used by the Copts and Abyssinians. It receives its name from the persecution of the Christians in the reign of Diocletian, and was much used by the Christian writers until the introduction of the Christian era, in the 6th century. 1350. Great naval battle in the English Channel, off Winchelsea, between the English under Edward III and the mariners of Biscay. 14 Castilian ships were carried triumphantly into a port. 1353. Action between the Genoese fleet under Antonio Grimaldi, and the combined Venetian and Catalonian fleets, under Pisani, in which the former suffered so great a defeat that only 17 vessels escaped. 1445. Paul, of Burgos, a learned Jew, died. He was converted to Christianity, and was baptized at the same time with his 3 sons, who all distinguished themselves. 1527. Battle of Mohatz, between the Turks under Suleiman, and the Hungarians under Louis II, in which the latter were defeated with the loss of 20,000 killed. The Turks carried nearly 200,000 persons into captivity. 1583. Stephen Parmenius Budius, a learned Hungarian, shipwrecked on the coast of Newfoundland. He accompanied Sir Humphrey Gilbert's squadron of discovery, for the purpose of recording their discoveries and exploits in Latin. He was on board the Delight, which carried down more than 100 persons with her. 1657. John Lilburne, a famous English enthusiast, died. He was the ringleader of a party called the Levellers. 1660. The Act of Indemnity signed by Charles II, out of which most of those called regicides were accepted. 1692. Call. Benjamin Fletcher arrived at the port of New York, with a commission as governor of the province, which he published the next day. 1708. Haverhill, on the Merrimack, surprised by the French and Indians, who burned part of the town, killed about 40, and carried away 100 prisoners. 1749. Matthias Bell, died at Presburg, a Hungarian ecclesiastic, ennobled for his literacy. 1750. Letitia Pilkington, a lady of great wit and literary celebrity, died at Dublin. 1764. John Bernard, a distinguished London merchant, died. He represented the city in Parliament 40 years, and was so highly esteemed by the public that his statue was placed in the Royal Exchange during his lifetime. 1769. Edmund Hoyle died, author of a celebrated treatise on whist and other games. 1776. Americans retreated from Long Island. Gen. Mifflin commanded the rear guard, with whom Washington remained until the retreat was effected. The army amounted to 9,000. 1778. The rear of the American army under Gen. Sullivan attacked by the British, who were repulsed. British lost 260. American lost 206. 1779. The Indians defeated by Sullivan at Elmira. 1780, James Germain Saouflot, an eminent French architect, died. 1782, British ship Royal George, 108 guns, sunk while careening. Admiral Kempenfelt and about 1,000 persons were lost, of whom 300 were women and children. This is put down by other authorities on the 19th, and differently stated. 1799, Pius VI John Angelo Broschi, Pope, died. He rendered his name famous by training the Pontine Marshes. Bonaparte entered his state twice, making him a prisoner the second time, and carried him over the Alps to Valencia, where he died of excessive fatigue, aged 82. 1804. Preble's fifth attack on Tripoli. The Constitution fired upwards of 300 rounds, besides grape and canister sunk a large Tunisian galleot, and silenced 2 of the batteries in the castle. American loss 3 killed, 1 wounded. 1816. Scheele, the celebrated astronomer of Lilienthal, died. 1833. Great fire at Constantinople, in which a circuit of 3 miles, said to comprise 12,000 houses and 50,000 inhabitants, was devastated, and many lives lost. 1843. A treaty of peace between Great Britain and China concluded. The Chinese to pay $21 million, open 5 of their principal ports and cede the island of Hong Kong to the British. 1849. The fortress of Akulga, the residence of Shkamel, a celebrated Circassian chief, was carried by assault by the Russians, after a siege of 4 months. 1851. Lopez, who had invaded Cuba with American volunteers, after 16 days of reverses, and having lost nearly all his followers, was captured in the mountains by the aid of bloodhounds. 1851. A convention of 25 delegates assembled in Lewis County, Oregon, and appointed a committee to prepare a memorial to Congress, to procure a division of the territory, and the organization of a separate territorial government. 1853. The Austrian minister, M. Hurlsmann, addressed a note to the American government, complaining of the conduct of Captain Ingraham in the coastal affair. 1854. Petropolski, a Russian town, attacked and bombarded by the Allied English and French fleet. The town was defended by 1,200 men and 120 guns. 1854. A new asteroid, named Euphrosyne, was discovered at the Washington Observatory, by James Ferguson, assistant astronomer.